Hello and welcome to our video on the history of venture capital and private equity. The history of venture capital can be traced back to the 1950s, but the modern venture capital industry really took off in the 1970s. In the early days, venture capital firms were primarily focused on funding technology companies, but today they invest in a wide range of industries, including healthcare, biotechnology, software, and internet companies. One of the most famous success stories in the history of venture capital is the investment made by Sequoia Capital in Google in 1999. The firm invested $12.5 million in Google at a valuation of $75 million, and today Google is one of the most valuable companies in the world, with a market capitalization of over $1 trillion. The history of private equity can be traced back to the 1950s, but the industry really took off in the 1980s and 1990s, as the buyout boom led to the creation of many large private equity firms. Private equity firms typically raise funds from institutional investors and use these funds to acquire controlling stakes in companies. One of the most famous success stories in the history of private equity is the leveraged buyout of RJR Nabisco by Kohlberg Kravis Roberts and Company, KKR, in 1988. The deal, which was the largest leveraged buyout in history at the time, was chronicled in the book Barbarians at the Gate: The Fall of RJR Nabisco. Today, the venture capital and private equity industries are a significant source of funding for startups and growing companies. These firms provide not only financial capital, but also expertise and connections that can help companies succeed. Thank you for watching our video on the history of venture capital and private equity.